What is up, folks? I am Kevin Iole. UFC is in another strange place. Dana White said they're going everywhere, and they are in Azerbaijan. I never thought I would say that, but here we are. Saturday, you can watch that on ABC. In the main event, the former light heavyweight champion Jamahal Hill takes on my guest right now, Khalil Rountree Jr. Khalil fought for the light heavyweight title in his last fight. He will be looking to move up in the rankings with this fight against Jamahal Hill. Welcome, Khalil. How are you, my friend?
Kevin, it's good to see you again, man. Thank you for having me. I'm doing well.
Good to hear that. Always good to talk to you. Let's go back first to the fight with Alex Pereira. You made a big name for yourself. You came in on that fight on a winning streak. A little bit of controversy over you actually getting the title shot. You were ranked 8th at the time. Even though you lost in the 4th round, I thought you acquitted yourself well. A memorable fight. What do you, when you look back on that experience, like what is the big takeaway that you make?
The biggest takeaway would be just being able to experience, for one, fighting in a 5-round championship fight, two, facing Alex Pereira, and just having that experience. I think experience is the number one thing that I take away from that fight. All of that mixed with how the fight played out, and the just 4 rounds of hard work, and so I take away from that fight just a lot of experience, and it helped propel me forward.
Now I noticed a little scar on the nose, I guess, from that last fight. But you went into the fight with Pereira injured and kind of, I guess, at a handicap. I don't want to take anything away from him and his performance because he's legit one of the best in the world. But how are you this time? Are you healthy? Any issues? Like you're not going in kind of at 70% capacity? I hope this time.
No. I'm going in 100% capacity. No cuts, no scars going in, or I have scars, but no cuts, nothing that will reopen. The cut on my nose going into the Pereira fight happened 2 weeks before, and it was opening almost daily in training. So I knew that one was going to happen, no matter what. The one over my eye was not expected, but everything's healed up. I've sparred so much since then. It's tested, it's battle tested, and nothing wrong with me. I'm going in 100%.
You are ranked number 7. He is ranked number 4. This is a critical fight because it's really crowded. There's a new champion since last we spoke, Magomed Ankalaev. Pereira wants another chance. Yuri Prohaska wants a chance. Of course, Jamahal Hill fighting you, looking for a chance. And I know you want another chance, and there's other guys in there. Does that make the significance of this fight even greater than it might be otherwise, given the jockeying? And you never know how it's going to play out because I don't know that there's one clear, obvious contender.
Yeah. It's hard to answer that question clearly, but I think that I think you kind of mentioned it. Like, yeah, I think a lot of us are hungry to get back to, fighting for the title again. And I think really what it comes down to is just maybe how we perform, how I perform against Jamal, how Yuri performs in whoever he fights next. And I think that'll really help the matchmakers decide and the fans decide, who they want to see go for it.
I know a big part of your career has been kind of inspiring other people and using your platform for good. What good came of your fight with Alex, right? I mean, obviously people were hailing you as incredibly brave and courageous and tough, given the injuries that you fought with and then the way you looked afterwards after the surgery you had shortly after the fight. What do you think came out of it good in terms of the way you like to use your platform?
Well, I think that fight definitely helped me gain fans, which I feel like helped me kind of have, like more outreach. I've had a lot more fan interactions, and some like really meaningful conversations. Um, you know, there's been a lot of good in different ways. Yeah, I think that, for my family, it's been great because, they're able to be happy with the fact that, they can say like, "Oh yeah, that's my son or that's my brother," or, like,
Right.
it's now like, I've kind of put myself on the map, and that part selfishly feels good because we as fighters put in a lot of hard work, and it's hard to really, you know, get acknowledgement sometimes. And,
Right.
selfishly, that part is great. And then on the other side, I think it's allowed me to come into contact with, uh, some really great people around the world and have some really cool interactions. Um, yeah, and I think it's only up from here.
I thought it was interesting. You've been in several fights over at Apex, and they put you on camera, and you can just tell the difference, right? Since that last fight, the reaction to you from even though it's not a big crowd at the Apex, but the reaction to you is significantly different than I think it used to be.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's I think that like I think that fight really helped me because obviously it being a title fight and a main event, there's more coverage, like there's more of a story to tell, especially from the UFC side. They've got to tell the story. And I think them being able to expand on my story and tell my story a little bit more, just really helped people to understand a little bit more of like who I am and where I come from.
Right.
And that's just yeah, and I think a lot of people connected with that, and I think that helped give people, just like a new fighter to, to root for, to cheer for, to feel like is a representation of them, and yeah, I'm honored.
You're honored, but you're going into another tough fight. The former champion, a guy who's going to be desperate coming up, losses to Pereira and Yuri Prohaska. What do you make of Jamal's game, and how do you see this fight going?
You know, that's a question that gets asked very often. um, how do I see,
No, come on.
how do I see the fight going? It's again, Jamal Hill is a former champion. And people who have, watched his fights and watched mine kind of know what to expect stylistically. Um, I don't really expect too much surprise. I think that I can expect very hungry and determined Jamal Hill come Saturday night, which I'm absolutely prepared for. And I think as far as I go, I haven't gotten comfortable. I think I learned so much from the Alex fight. It's not like I understand that it was good and people were entertained, but
Right.
I still lost, and I'm not okay with
Right.
that. Like I'm not okay with that. So there were changes that I made. There were mistakes that I made in that fight that I didn't like. And I allowed myself to learn and grow from it. And like people say, go back to the drawing board. And that's what I did. And so I'm coming in here just as hungry, just and prepared, coming off of a loss, regardless of how great the fight was in the eyes of the fans. So, I think that you have two guys that are determined to get back to the belt, um, showing up on Saturday night to fight for it. I believe in my skills 100%. That's really my focus. Um, and all of the improvements that I've made, you know, uh, striking, grappling, emotionally, everything. Just like there's just been a lot of improvements on my side that I feel like that have been made, and what I'm that's what I'm bringing on Saturday. And I think that whatever it is that Jamal brings, I'm absolutely prepared for.
So I asked him a version of this question yesterday, and I want to ask you. You had said before you fought Alex, I've never shot for a takedown in my career. Kind of hinting, hey, I'm going to stand up and slug with you, and it's kind of like Marab out there talking about his broken toe and his injuries and all the things. He tells everything. Not that people wouldn't know what your style is because they watch your fights and they know what you do. But do you feel like, after having been in that fight and kind of, given out like, hey, I'm going to stand and trade with you. That's essentially what I think you said. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I took out of your comment. I've never shot for a takedown. Do you feel like, you have to become more well-rounded and at least threaten takedowns and at least threaten, some different situations to make your striking that much better?
I would say that like if I need to, then I'll do whatever I need to do now, and I've made sure that like I've prepared to make necessary decisions when they need to be made. And although in the Alex fight, yeah, I mentioned I have never shot for a takedown, doesn't mean that I don't know how to,
Right.
or anything like that. So it's more like that was more my promise because I knew that a fight with Alex on the feet would be something that is, that the fans would absolutely love. Like that fight, calling for that fight, doing everything, promoting it the way that I did was really all for the fans, so that they could rest assured that, they would see the fight that they wanted to see. They would see my best striking against his best striking. Now, now that that's out of the way, I think that, um, you know, uh, everything's fair now. I'm always going to remain myself. I'm always going to
Sure.
primarily be a striker, but um, if I need to win the fight, then and I need to make decisions or shoot for a takedown or whatever, then then so be it.
Let's wrap with this last question. I know your goal is to be the UFC champion, and whether you beat Alex, Magomed, or me, I don't think you really care, right? You want to get the belt around your waist. But
Yeah.
if you had it your way, would you rather beat Alex for it, like have Alex regain it and then beat him just so that you can kind of close the circle and you beat the guy that had beaten you before and you won the title in the process?
Um, sorry to to not really answer your question, but honestly, the only for me the ideal situation is fight whoever has the belt, but I'd love it to be in Las Vegas. That's my home. That's where I'm from. A home of the UFC. So nothing would bring me more joy than to have a chance to fight for the title again in Las Vegas and win the title in Las Vegas. So whoever it's wrapped around and that I have to go after to get it, doesn't matter. Just so long as it's in Las Vegas and you know my wishes.
So we're
That's
gonna
all.
just me being a Las Vegan too. We're gonna just make you walk out to Viva Las Vegas when you come to the octagon for that fight.
So be it. So be it.
Awesome. Khalil Rountree Jr., he's fighting Jamal Hill, the former champion, Saturday. You can see that on ABC, the network, also on ESPN, ESPN Plus. Obviously, always good to talk to you, Khalil. Best of luck in the fight. We appreciate you. See you soon.
Thank you, Kevin. See you soon.
Be well.